All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm in the house with this Ray Laconico Design Alliance Design EZE here with me for a review. We're gonna analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this little guy. But first of all, let me say a big thank you to my buddy Branding for lending me this guy, so I'm able to check it out and share my impressions with you. And second of all, don't forget to like and to subscribe this video because to the channel. Sorry, because this is really a huge help if you are enjoying this kind of stuff that I'm bringing to you. So let's quickly check this guy out. How big this guy is? Not that big. It's gonna be 7.25 inches, 3-inch long blade, and 4.25-inch long handle, which corresponds to 18.5 centimeters, 7.5 centimeters for the blade, and 11, yeah, almost 11, 10.8 centimeters for the handle. Let's check it out up against some popular options you might be familiar with. This is the Ontario Rat number 1, and here you've got Ontario Rat number 2. And as you can see, this guy, comparable with the Ontario Rat number 2, of course, not the 1. And this is the bigger option I've got from Benchmade, which is the bag out. And if you are more like into smaller knives, there you go. That's the mini bag out. So you see, like, pretty comparable, a little bit. That's just a smidge tinier than the bag out. And let's check it up against Spyderco Para 3, and you're gonna notice that we are pretty much on the same boat right there, but not with the Paramilitary 2, because of course it's gonna be a bigger boy than that. So pretty much in the same ballpark of the Spyderco Para 3. Maybe you have sweet spot for crisp rib knives, and boom, there is your that's the small Sebenza 21, and this is the large Sebenza 21. Look at that. That's a pretty cool picture right there. I think that, what else can I show you? Something nice I got here. That's the Menandine carbon fiber. Love this little fella over here. Let me also show you some other carbon fiber goodness. We've got the Hinder Knives XM18, and what else can I show you here? Something fancier. Yeah, we're gonna go pretty up in price here. That's the Chicago Custom Division Neon NL. And let me show you another amazing, just for the size. That's the Chicago Custom Division F3 NS, which is another crazy good knife. So let's check this guy out. Laconico Design Alliance Design EZE. That's a titanium frame block, full carbon fiber scale, nice fuller going on the show side. It's pretty good. I like the feel to it. There's a little subtle chamfery going on all around the perimeter over here. A little bit same thing going on the inside. There is no internal skeletonization, but you know, it's not going to reflect that much on the weight because this is a pretty small guy. Then you got a 3D milled surface here. It's not like flat. It's radiused, so that's a pretty cool thing. You have lanyard hole option. You've got the carbon fiber backspacer pretty much aligned with the scales. You have two screws for the handle, one pivot screw. Screws for the handle are pretty much flush. The pivot is sticking out just a little tad. The screws are screwed directly into the slab of titanium, so just be sure when you take this guy apart that you're not gonna strip anything. Just be careful. And then you've got basically like no finger grooves over here. You have a strange feel in the hand. It's not like uncomfortable, but it's not like contoured to fit like nicely in the hand. I mean, it's all right. I don't have any hot spots, maybe just a tad here, but it's pretty good in the hand, just like not super ergonomic. You've got the blade that's pretty much well centered, and check the tolerances. Like next to the blade is just like, look at that, next to nothing. So this guy has to be perfectly centered, so that's a very cool thing. Tip safely recessed, protected by the backspacer. You've got a very clean look, minimalistic design, very clean lines going on in the classic Laconico tradition. You have protruding flipper tab, a little bit pointy. It's not gonna work out as a push button. It's just gonna go for the light switch, but there's no jimping, so it might happen that you just slip like that. So just make sure you grip it nicely, and boom, you're gonna be in business. So just keep that in mind. There is no stainless steel lock face insert, which is probably my biggest gripe, because you see, you have, if you just flip it harder like that, you can have a little bit of lock stick. It's not the end of the world. It's probably gonna wear out with time, but if you have a stainless steel lock face insert, it's, you know, problem solved. So that's one thing to remember. You also don't have an over travel stop bar, so you only have the pocket clip to, you know, add a little bit more tension to keep the lock bar in place, but you can actually overextend this lock bar, so also keep that in mind. You've got a tip-up carry only, not reversible, titanium 3D milled pocket clip, very, very stiff, nice clip entrance ramp. This much of the knife is gonna be sticking out. You cannot mount it on this side, or you cannot do tip down carry as well. And then you've got this pretty cool blade, I have to say. There's no jimping here, just a little bit of chamfering and a tiny swedge going on, like from this point to this point, and then boom, down, and then boom, tanto, flat grind, and then here, straight edge, hollow grind. Pretty cool belt grind lines, which are going vertically, diagonally and horizontally to create a nice mixture and a nice contrast. But check out the tiny sharpening choil going on right there. So that's a little one. There is this is a finger groove, so you can take advantage of that with a more advanced grip. Straight perpendicular plunge grind, which shows how it's ground this blade. I really like this detail over here. Really, really well made. I love the fact, of course, that Laconico just signs on the spine of the blade. There's nothing going on this, and it's a fantastic thing. 0.1345 stock thickness, and behind the edge, this guy is gonna be 0.021 inches. So it's a pretty cool slicer because of the fact also that this is a hollow grind. So very, very good. You've got also an interesting sound. Like when you open this guy, it's nice, I have to say. When you close it, it's interesting. It's a high pitch, very, very low sound, but when you open it, it's interesting. Like it sounds like bigger than it is. Yeah, it's cool, it's pleasant. Let's quickly check the weight on this guy, because it's not too heavy, but there's no internal skeletonization. So this should be, in my opinion, less than 3 ounces, but it's gonna be more because, yeah, like 3.13, so not too bad. It's very pocketable, very carryable. There are no hot spots like here. I mean, the grip like that, it's not like the most comfortable ever, but it's okay. You know, it doesn't have any sharp edges. The lock bar is relatively easy to disengage because of the double milling you see on the lock bar and on the show side. I always prefer a little bit more area to just access this area over here, but yeah, it's still doable, of course. Lack of jimping and lack of texturing, it's gonna make this knife a little bit on the slippery side, but the groove here, it's gonna contribute to increase a little bit more the grippiness of the thing. Also, fit and finish is pretty good. I like the backspacer that is absolutely flush, a nice 3D milled pocket clip, a little bit strong on the retention. There is no blade play. There's no, you know, nothing going on vertically, horizontally. The flipper tab, I feel it's lacking some jimping. You cannot do very much like the push button. You're gonna be stuck with the light switch. You cannot do, there's no nail nick. You can just pinch the blade out. So just keep that in mind. This guy is running on bearings, and you maybe can see. Actually, I don't know if this guy is running on bearings because I didn't disassemble that. So let me know in the comments, guys, if I'm wrong or not. But actually feels like washers. To be honest, they look like washers. So that's probably why the action, it just doesn't drop shut, but the deployment is pretty good. So I like that, nice geometry. Also, the detent is pretty nicely dialed in, and you're not gonna have any issues if you do like a light switch to deploy the blade. Just keep in mind, there's a little bit of lock stick, probably because it's brand new. There's no stainless steel lock face insert. There's no great access to the area, and the ergos are not fantastic. But overall, it's a very nice knife. Nice. I like the grind. I like what is going on the blade. I like the carbon fiber. It's a very, very good quality carbon fiber. Fit and finish is pretty good. Sound also is nice, and there you have it. These are my impressions of this little fella. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and to subscribe. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned.